In the name of God, people are enslaved. In the name of God, people are dehumanized. In the name of God, Africans were turned into things. In the name of God, Africans were turned into commodities. Organized religion has every reason to apologize.
Hello guys, welcome back to my YouTube channel. It's Joel Mugisha here. And if you're new to this channel, kindly consider subscribing, like the video, share, drop me a comment. And on today's episode, guys, we are diving into Professor PLO Lumumba's deep, powerful words about African churches and the Christianity religion that was brought by, missionaries and also the colonial masters. Because most of the time in Africa, even till today, guys, instead of Africans working together and coming together in order to, work hard and develop their countries, they are still crippled by the mentality of going to churches and praying for God to help us, for God to help develop Africa. But you don't develop your nations just by prayer and fasting. So guys, let's dive into today's episode, and then we're gonna come back and talk about this. And a disclaimer, this might actually hurt many of the religious people that are watching this.
In the name of God, people are enslaved. In the name of God, people are dehumanized. In the name of God, Africans were turned into things. In the name of God, Africans were turned into commodities. Organized religion has every reason to apologize. Today, as Christians, we pay tithe, we make offerings, but many times we pay tithes and offerings with wrong intentions. We think that we are in a casino and that we are investing and God will make us millionaires. And when we don't get the millions, we get disappointed. When I travel across the continent, and I do, in many countries, I am amazed by the number of buildings whose owners claim are churches. In a distance of 1 kilometer, you will see different denominations. The Bible is now the greatest instrument in creating false industries in the continent of Africa. And that is not to be celebrated. It is to be frowned upon. And we who claim to be Christians, and I normally use this very deliberately, we claim to be Christians. As to whether we are is another debate. We'll only discover that a little later when we are in heaven. And therefore, when we talk about rediscovering, we are saying that it was once discovered. But let us situate the Bible in its proper place. Christianity as we know it today in the continent of Africa was midwifed to us in the continent through Europe, through the missionaries. When they came, they were reading the very same Bible that we are reading today. When they sat in Berlin and were dividing the continent of Africa, they were reading the same Bible that we are reading today. The same Bible in which, in Paul's letter to the Galatians at chapter 3:28, he says, there are no Jews, no Gentiles, no slave, no free, no woman, nor man. They read that verse. It was not interpolated later after they came. They read it. But they came here and conquered us. They came here and discriminated against us. The same Bible. They were being mentored by that very same Bible. They came here when they had divided the body of Christ. The English had appropriated the religion in 1534, and they now had their Anglican church complete with the monarch as its head. The Scots had appropriated their own, and they had the Presbyterian church. The Greeks had their Greek Orthodox. The Armenians, the Armenian Orthodox. The Roman Catholics were even bolder. They called it the Roman Catholic Church. So that even when they are in Uganda, it's not Ugandan Catholic Church, it is the Roman Catholic Church. And you are going there and you are saying you are Roman Catholic Church. They came and they disrupted us. They told us that our God was not God. They came with a God, and today when you go into many households of those who claim to be Christians or those who are Christians, you find the image of an actor called Geoffrey Hunter being received as the image of Jesus Christ. They came and told us that our names were not good names, and they gave us names. They came and told us that our natural features had to acquire different names. So they came and found Lake Muitanzige and say, no, it is Lake Albert. They came and found our lake with our name. They say, this is Edward. They said another one is George. The falls which we had lived with, they said, this is Murchison. And even our national park, they called it Elizabeth. And when they went down, they found Lake Narubare and said, this is Victoria. And when they went down, they said that the falls, Mosio Tunya, was Victoria Falls. They came and told us that our culture meant nothing. And we believed them. And unfortunately, we still believe them. They came to us and they told us that our cultures were not good, so that even today, as I speak to you, instead of addressing you in Kiswahili or Kinyoro or Luganda, they have captured our tongues, that I am now speaking to you in a foreign tongue. I look forward to the day when in an assembly such as this, I'll address you in the Kiswahili language. I look forward to that day. I look forward to the day when we shall have totally liberated ourselves, that we will be able to appreciate that indeed when we talk about development, we talk about the totality of culture. In Kiswahili they say, mwachamila ni mtumwa. He or she who abandons his or her culture is a slave. And there is a sense in which we remain enslaved. How do we remain enslaved? Just look at your names, including my very own. Look at it. Who is this individual that is called Patrick, for whom I am named? Who is he? Why is it that on the day that I was baptized, they could not allow me to use my local name? Why? Why is it that when we are referring to ourselves, we refer to ourselves as Anglophone, as Francophone, as Lusophone? And right now we are even always in the business of referring to ourselves as other phones. Soon we will be Sinophones. This is what we are doing to ourselves on a daily basis in the name of development. The mind is the standard of the man, to mean the woman also. And all battles must be won in the mind. And that is where they must be fought. Because when you change people's mind, what a man can imagine. Look at the aeroplane, is out of a man's mind. Look at the computer, is out of a man's mind. Look at the equipment we are using here, is out of men's mind. Look at the mobile phone that I can talk to somebody in Shanghai, China, from Nouakchott, in Mauritania, and I see his image. That is a man. So once you deal with the mind and deal with the mind positively, there is no limit to what can be done.
Yeah, guys, so you saw that actually. That is a powerful message from PLO Lumumba, a professor from Kenya. And he's actually stating a very important message here. I know religious people are gonna come here in the comment section trying to bash his message, but if we can go beyond the religious bonds, if we can go beyond denominations of being a Christian or a Catholic and understand what he's trying to preach here, he's trying to say that Africa has been crippled by this religion mentality that has been brought by missionaries from colonial era. Yet the white man, when he was colonizing and committing a lot of looting and atrocities, putting black people in slavery, they had the same Bible that they were preaching. Some of you guys will come and argue Christianity began in Africa. Christianity was in Africa before the missionaries. Yes, it was in Africa, and some of you will argue Christianity was long before in Ethiopia, before the missionaries came, but it's not the Ethiopians who actually spread Christianity across Africa. Christianity might have been in Ethiopia before the white man brought it to Africa, but it is the white missionary people of colonial times that spread Christianity all over Africa. And you know, these people, when they were dividing up Africa in the Berlin Conference, they had the same Bible. They had the same Bible that actually says people are equal. You know, they were preaching to you guys, to Africans, that obey your masters, slaves, obey your masters, using the Bible against us. And today, because of this mentality that has crippled Africans, instead of rising up and taking matters into our own hands and fighting and working together in order to develop our own countries, many Africans turn to religion in order, you know, to prosper in life. But that's not how the world works, you know. Even the Bible says, he who does not work, let him not eat. The same Bible that people are reading, the same Bible that we read in churches, says if you do not work, you shall not eat. So why do we turn only to prayers and fasting instead of taking up matters in our own hands? Even till today, many Africans crippled by religion are still waiting for God to help them, for God to help Africa. God has given us the brain. God has given us the ability. God has given us the mentality. It is actually us to rise beyond that mentality of mental slavery, mental neocolonialism, and emancipate ourselves from mental slavery. Because waiting for God to help you in matters that you can help yourself, you know, it is not a fight of the gods, because these palm-colored people that are actually exploiting Africa, they are not using a different alien god to fight Africa. If it was a fight for the gods, then we can go to church and pray for God to fight against their God. If they come in the human flesh, we must rise up and fight in our human flesh. We must rise up and take up, you know, responsibility of our lives, responsibility of our futures, and change the way things are run in Africa. So guys, tell me what you think in the comment section. I know this is a controversial topic, especially for black people, for melanated people all across the world, because if you look around the world, the people who are most religious are the black people. And most of us who are religious as the melanated people, who gave you that religion? Of course, The white man gave you that religion. But is he following that religion? You know, there are rumors even the Bible that we have today has been tampered with. It's not even the original Bible, Hebrew Bible, the original scrolls. So who knows what is covered in Rome? Thank you guys for watching this far. Tell me what you think in the comment section, and feel free to give out your opinion. And if you're new to this channel, my name is Joel Mugisha. Subscribe, like, and share. And as always, guys, see you in the next episode.